What COVID made me feel
Yeah.
is I became that dad I saw growing up, like dad who lost his job. I saw my brother who lost his job. I saw myself now. It's like, oh man. So even in entrepreneurship, you can lose it all.
Yes. Oh yes, you thought that it was in employment. And
Yes,
that in entrepreneurship, you don't.
Now I saw it in entrepreneurship. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, so you
Yeah.
can lose it all. So immediately that came in. Man, we went and said, okay, we're starting with salaries. Once you get your salo, there's nothing like bonuses. Everything else goes back to the company. You plow
Yeah.
it back. So we gave ourselves small salaries, and then all the other money was plowed back into the business.
Yeah.
So we started creating a runway. We understood now the value of a runway.
Yeah.
So that if anything comes, at least we can survive.
Yeah.
For a longer period.
And for you personally as well, on your own account, are
Yeah.
you also now putting
Yes,
cash aside?
yes,
Now,
yes, absolutely. So that's the time I started like doing heavy investments. I learned about MMFs. I started putting money in, CIC asset management. I started doing supplies on the side. So now I tell my wife, okay, set up a company. Let's look for places to apply cement, whatever, wood, timber, and stuff. So we started diversifying. I've done a lot of. I've supplied rice to schools.
and all of this is on the side.
Yeah, on the side, like with my money. Now
Yeah.
I need to
Yes.
stretch my money. So
Yeah.
when it comes, I was like, yeah, let's not forget like what we went through, because now things are starting to look like they're gonna work out again.
Yeah.
Let's not be comfortable. So I take like 80% of my salary and not touch anything else and just put it in investment. So put it somewhere where the 80K will come back as 150K.
Okay.
And put back the 150K comes back
back
at
as
200. So that's what I started doing. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the, I guess, side businesses you've done that have been interesting, that have had some really, really good return?
Supply business is good, but it's cash intensive. So I went into cereals with a buddy of mine. So we used to supply a lot of cereals, rice, beans. So we take like a whole container of maize, buy a whole container, supply it, and you'd make a spread of like 200K, and that will happen in like 3 days.
And how much would it cost you to buy the?
The whole container was 1.4. So me and him would raise like 600-700 each. Then we'd get a whole truck to come from like Busia with maize. We'd supply it and make our spread in 3 days. That was really good money.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we'd just turn it over, a lot of the time. And then when there's not a lot of supplies happening, I take that money, put it in MMFs and interest. He went into Shylock lending a bit, so I'd give him some money and we'd use it to lend to people at crazy interest rates. So I found interesting ways to spread my money. Yeah.
Okay. So what does your portfolio look like now?
Whew. Now it's pretty diverse. So I have money in government papers. I always say it's lazy investment, but it has.
Yeah.
So a bit of government papers, MMF. I've put some money in some companies now. Companies that do things like remittance. So you get really good returns from that. So I also invest in startups. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess since post-COVID, or rather post-COVID, your business star has been able to build enough capital to get back to that place where it was cash rich, and I guess cash flows are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after COVID, what we realized is that the wallets we provided for school feeding, we realized there was a business around wallets, digital wallets. Because now everyone was like, I want that thing like that for school feeding, but for something in transport, something in hotels, something in healthcare. So we ended up building the infrastructure for digital wallets so that people don't have to build wallets themselves.
Yeah.
And that really took off now. Now we got a lot of customers who wanted that technology to use it for different use cases, and that brought in a lot of revenues. Also, what we realized is that we had to structure the company in a way that it makes revenues from different streams. So now there's 6 ways Terra makes money from the same technology. So we're not reliant on one thing like before. So that if you're not making money from, for example, hardware that we sell, we can make money from software SaaS fees. You can make money from messaging. You can make money from credit scoring, ID checks, for example. So that has given us stability, where and the fact that we're now sector agnostic, we're able to like go into different sectors and really create solutions and solve problems. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's really, I think that's like, taking your lessons for sure. And
Yeah.